everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. We're going to start off today out here at Saturn with the Wanderer spacecraft, who's about 3 hours from making a correction burn to put it on a flyby path with Dione. I hope I'm pronouncing everything correctly this time. That will give us an encounter in about 54 days or so, but I am going to try to tweak our maneuver and bring us in as close as possible while we've still got some time to do this. Oh, okay. Oh, come on. Really? That gives us a very nice low periapsis. But our total encounter time is not very long, so we're going to have to cue our science experiments very carefully. So, we out of time warp? Yes, we are, in fact, out of time warp. This is a 43.5 meter per second correction. Where's the node? Oh, it's down there. Of course it is. We'll just go ahead and get ourselves angled in now, even though it's not exactly productive to do so. There we go, and we'll just time warp on into the node. Oh, I forgot I did that. Okay, well, we're not getting any data from that, so it does not matter. Alright, well, we're down to about a minute, so I'm just going to go ahead and start burning these thrusters. Looks like this will take a little bit longer than I thought it would. No big deal. Close alarm. And I will, of course, will start to pump fuel around. Out. So we can keep the probe actual topped off when we're ready to ditch our now useless engine stage that will stay in orbit here around Saturn, providing short-range comms relay. And maybe it will connect us to something that actually has comms back with Earth. Wouldn't that be cool? Why is our electric charge complete? Oh, because I was in time warp for days. Uh-oh. We got some... Oh boy. How are we maintaining control if all of our electric charge is gone? Oh boy. That's no good. Very interesting. What did we complete? Oh yes. We'll get to that in a little bit. Alright, I'm going to switch out to the map view and try to touch this up manually. Get in a little closer. Okay, that looks pretty good. Yeah, 50-kilometer periapsis. That'll do quite nicely. Alright, now I'm going to come back here and lock some tanks. Make sure RCS doesn't throw us off our track here. And also transfer some fuel. Out. Not going to make a huge dent in things, but it looks like we're lugging this thing around for a little while longer at least. Not the biggest deal. What concerns me, however, is... Oh, well, I guess we always have a little bit of electric charge in the tank, and that's how we're maintaining operations. No big deal. Fair enough. Alright, so I need to set an alarm. Okay, and give me about a 5-hour margin, so I have time to queue up all of our researchy things and stuff, and take a quick save, and we've got a few other things to attend to. I forgot this was here. Oh, that's to the active vessel. We're going to switch it to Titan. Oh wow, it's out of range. But when it is in range, that might be the key that I need to test my theory that if I can bounce a signal, yeah, because currently we are way the hell out here. There is Titan, so when we get closer to the inner solar system, or inner Saturn system, we might be able to bounce a signal from our orbiter around Titan, back to Earth, and hopefully that will let us radio in some of all this nice science that we're going to collect. That's my theory, but we'll be testing it in like 50 some odd days. No worries there. Oh man, that's going to make almost a complete orbit before we get to it again. What's our resultant orbit going to look like? Not a whole lot different than our current one, and that's fine. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4 more moons to fly by before we reach scope complete. Hopefully then we can start radioing in some cool stuff. Perhaps. All right. Anyway, yes, we have other things to do, so we're gonna go do them. And so here we are out on the launch pad with another Mark V Shuriken. We are going to be taking this up to Tremonia Station, as that's really all this thing does now. But anyway, we need to bring back 2 crew members from the station. We're not really rotating out crew, we're actually starting to vacate the station in preparation for this next phase of the space program, which is sending an experienced orbital crew out to Mars. Our relative inclination with the station is down to about 0.3 degrees, so we're just going to go ahead and turn SAS on, set our throttle to full, and go ahead and get this show on the road. Ignition looks good, and we are up and moving. All greens across the board, so so far so good. Relative inclination is already climbing, so well, this will be fun. I'm going to go ahead and hopefully wrestle this difficult machine all the way to orbit, and I will pick you all up in just a few. Now, I haven't flown a Shuriken in a little while, so it was kind of a force to get used to. Val, however, has flown it many, many times and knows all the little delicate intricacies of how to really wrestle this thing into orbit. It has a lot of TWR off the pad. We are very much under our tonnage limit for this craft, so we can actually afford to be a little aggressive with our gravity turn. That's just a nice camera angle. No real reason there, and a little bit of doggo barking. Sorry. But Val being extra aggressive, as she's going to come up here on a throttle back. There it is. Just to avoid too much G-loading as those boosters run low and start to burn out. The whole point here really was to get the angle right, because if you just take your hands off the controls after booster sep, it just stays right where you point it, which is very relaxing and a absolutely fantastic way to fly this thing. And man, if that isn't just one of the prettiest shots I think I've ever had in this game, yeah, it's thumbnail worthy, absolutely for certain. But yeah, like I said, if you just ignore the controls, it works fine until you realize that you are, you know, just a couple of seconds away from hitting your apogee, and you really, really need to angle up because you mistook your TWR after booster sep and need to re-angle. And then it becomes a ridiculous wrestling match, but I'd rather wrestle with it for half the flight than all the flight. MechJeb's built-in autopilot does a pretty good job of kill rotation here. I don't know, I just have more fun flying by hand. That's kind of always been my preference, so I'll just wrestle with it. I figure I will actually burn less RCS fuel than MechJeb will, even if it's a whole lot easier to do. Still a great angle, just a lot more troublesome. But predictably, because we haven't flown one of these in a while, it's about time that we had some sort of issue, right? Well, here's old me. Tell you all about it. Alright, well, we've got a problem. It looks like we have a loss of thrust or something on one of our HG3 engines. Alright, let me pull this up. Performance loss. Good. Nope, you're working fine. Yeah, looks like we just have a loss of thrust. Where's the ISP? Specific impulse is also down. Oh, this is a problem. Oh, good. Alright, well, we're gonna try to angle ourselves up a bit more. I'm still gonna try to battle that relative inclination, see if we can't keep this flight going. Valentina? She's totally gonna come through with us. She's a badass. Alright. Well, it's been a good long while since we had a failure on one of these HG3s. I guess, of course, we're due for one on a shuttle flight. Although I guess I'd much rather it be here than on, like, a trip out to Mars on something that where it would definitely scrub things. I think we can still come through with this, although with that ISP drain, I mean, man, it's like less than 200. So I don't know exactly how well this is going to go. It'd be really cool if we could hit orbit, at the very least. And that key chattering and sped up footage just, it sounds like chipmunks. I have no idea how that isn't extraordinarily irritating. But as you can see, this did turn into a legit wrestling match. Asymmetric vehicle with offset center of thrust loses an engine, making it extra offsetty. Yeah. Well, I ended up angling way too high for way too long. So as we approach the end of the burn, we're going to have to introduce some serious nose down if we're going to keep our orbital path anywhere near the top end of the station. But it's behind us in the orbit anyway, so it's probably not entirely a bad thing. It just looks weird. Alright, we're just going to shut it down there. It's 575 by 100 kilometer. Not technically an orbit, but 575 is kind of way out of the pale for what we need to rendezvous to the station. So I'm going to time warp to stabilize the roll, and then we're going to go ahead and ditch the EFT. Just alright. I am going to try to bring on some liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen. Oh man, next to nothing left in here. That's just to run our fuel cells. That's the word I was looking for, was fuel cells. I don't know why the liquid oxygen. I guess since that has nothing in it. Either way. We've got like half an hour until we hit our apoapsis. We'll be climbing well until then, so no worries about a sudden re-entry of sorts. Right, there's a very long garbage collection. That was interesting. All right, stop. And you can stay up. Oh, yeah, I'll probably want that one up too. Finally. All right. And go ahead and dispose of the EFT. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Come on. There we go. Decouple. And pull ourselves ever so gracefully away. Hopefully that thing will just deorbit itself. We'll go ahead and shut down our HG3 engines. Activate our AJ10. Alright, so let's get around, plot out a node, and see what we can't do about rendezvousing around with our station here. Which is other side of the planet. So, good. I guess considering our location here and it's there, we probably want to let it catch up to us, which means we should maintain mostly a higher orbit. Which we can do just by leveling out with its orbit on the other side. That's an 87.1 meter per second correction. Not a problem. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves angled in a bit. I hope we won't be pointing directly at the EFT. Let's go ahead and open up our cargo bay. This is, of course, our just massive resupply tank, although we are taking 2 people down from the station. There'll still be some other people up there. We might as well leave them with something. There really wasn't much else of a point to this, but you know how it goes. Alright, activate fuel cell. And we'll go ahead and extend our panels also. Let's see if we can't get some kind of charge going here. This is just food, water, oxygen. Yeah, no fuel, which is fine. I wonder how much RCS fuel we did burn through, though. Yeah, that one's mostly gone. These 2 little satellite tanks are about halfway or so. Alright, well, I am going to shift fuel from this tank to tanks that are more centrally located. Are you a tank? You are a tank. Okay. We'll come back. No, actually, we'll do you first, since you have less fuel in you. This is just to bring our center of mass in line with our center of thrust, which will make doing all the rendezvous-y type stuff a whole lot easier. Alright, minute 30 seconds out. We'll just start to ullage in our AJ-10 a little bit here. Very off the angle kind of thing. Looks green. Light it up. And a good light. Thank goodness. Yeah. Are we leaning to the side, or am I just a terrible pilot today? Cannot tell. We should not be off balance. Oh yeah, there's definitely some creep in here. It's interesting. Alright, well, we need to perform a roll maneuver. Might as well do it now anyway. Oh man, 0.4 degrees. Relative inclination. That's horrible. How did I screw that up that bad? I thought I was pretty on point with this. And basically, we want to get our solar panels into the sun. So our electric charge is staying topped off on our fuel cells. I can probably deactivate one of them. Goodbye, EFT. Why are you listing so badly, my friend? Alright, we'll kill it there. 0.3. And see if we can't bring it in line a little bit just with RCS. Our target altitude is 406 by 418. I guess that extra 6 kilometers might mean something. I mean, getting above it will help the station catch up to us because it will be in a lower, faster orbit. But I think considering our top end orbit is 575 kilometers versus 418 kilometers, is probably not going to be that big of a difference. Alright, we'll kill that. We'll kill RCS just to make sure we're not wasting fuel all over the place. And let's try to get Valentina up to the station, shall we? Alright, 628 meters in 46 minutes. We'll just tell MechJeb here to match velocities at closest approach. 123.4 meters per second. So in the meantime, I'm going to, of course, move some fuel around. We just need to empty out this tank. I do wonder if that's what's causing our imbalance. You know, maybe, maybe not. Alright, well, we've got 45 minutes to kill. It says burn time is 1 minute 23 seconds. We'll probably pull all of that in lead. I wonder if we're going to pull this rendezvous at night or during the day. I'm really, really hoping it's during the day. I don't know if I can get in there and turn the bay lights on or not. I'll worry about that later. RCS back on. 1 minute 30 to node. That bad. Where is she? That's the moon. There she is. Stability control back on would be good. And we'll just start to ologen this engine, and I'll be keeping a very close eye on separation at closest approach. Yeah, it's already climbing. Of course it is. So maybe I'll just, if we have to pull past it a little bit, that's no big deal, I guess. I swear I have lights in here. Yeah, maybe not. Oh well. Not a huge deal. Alright, 53 seconds. Let's try to find this node. Actually, Valentina. Retrograde, prograde, normal, anti-normal, radial, and radial out is not ranked enough to hold node on her own. That's interesting. Probably the most experienced pilot we have currently. Her and Yegor. Alright, ignition. There's no reason why you should be leaning off to the side like this. This must be render range. There's the station. We're definitely going to be swinging past it by quite a bit. 13 seconds until we hit our closest approach. Yeah, you can't really see it shrouded by the misty cloud layer below us, which is weird, but okay then. Yeah, I totally miscalculated on when to start this burn. Yeah, we're probably going to fall to a little more than 1.5 kilometers on this. Yep. Oh well. My miscalculation. Where is she? Should be ahead of us and low somewhere. I should be paying attention to the node. We're just going to leave the engines running for a second or two here. There we go. I cannot see her. Should be pretty much directly in front of us. Probably within the mist and the haze here. That's fine. We're just going to bring this the rest of the way in with RCS. Go. Alright, looks like we'll definitely be taking on some fuel when we get done with this docking. So I'll see if I can't lure the old girl out with some time warp. There we go. I see her now. Right here. Just going to let Valentina spin for a bit because I'm not turning the RCS back on. As you can see, we're a little low on thruster fuel. And we've got about 9 minutes to kill. So maybe I'll just zoom us out a bit. And we'll wait until we're a bit closer. And then bring it out of this physics warp. I just picture the view from Tremonia Station, the crew there looking out with their binoculars, and just this shuttle tumbling seemingly wildly as it grows closer and closer and closer. Be a little disconcerting, I think, but I don't know. Valve's at the controls, so I guess they have to expect something a little crazy, right? Well, it does look like our parking spot is on the opposite side of the station from our current location. Of course it is. That was predictable. That's our current heading. That's actually not too bad. Because we will need to swing past the station and turn around, come back for a docking. This is not entirely a bad thing, I guess. We've done it before. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? What we can do in the meantime is tuck in these solar panels. Our electric charge is topped off, so we will retract panels. Thank you. A little bit of boil off there, but I guess the other cell running? No, it is not. That's all boil off. Very interesting. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and activate one. Because why not? Wow, 72 meters. This, you might be coming in a little hot. Oh, did I ever bother assign some thrusters to braking? No. No, I did not. Oh, good. Oh, that was... Yeah, I wrote it down and I forgot. Okay, well. I guess what we're going to have to do is come in a little flat-bellied here. 90 degrees offset. This will actually maybe help us stay in line for our docking. I don't know. But we're going to have to use the K key for braking instead of the N key. So we need to be pointed offset by, 90 degrees. Or whichever. So, good times. Val, what are you doing? What is the point of this? Okay, now we can see our docking port. We can actually probably freely time warp now, but I do just want to get on the correct side of the station and then start lining ourselves up for a docking approach. Ooh. Like there's an explosion going on down there. That's very interesting. I sped this up greatly in post. We just swung past the station, used some just off-angling the nose a little bit to compensate for the fact that we have control on exactly 5 out of our 6 axes. I guess if you can include roll, does that make it 8 axes? Anyway, that part doesn't really matter. It was a little bit unorthodox, and I keep getting either roll or pitch inputs that I am not doing, and I don't understand why they keep happening, but it did frustrate me very greatly. But approach the station was pretty seamless, and I actually think that I'm better at docking things where the port is not in line with the spacecraft than I am when it is, based on my last attempt to dock at Harmonia. But we're almost at hard dock now, so I will turn you back over to old me for the up-to-date stuff. And there's a hard dock. And nothing got broken. Hooray! Alright. Well, the objective here is to move some crew around, move some supplies around, and then bring them 3 crew down to a lower orbit, fulfill a contract, take them home. But this episode has stretched on entirely long enough, so thank you for hanging out, everyone. I really do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.